being a good girl? It's June 5th, 2024. I want to thank everybody for being here today, joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue to get the message out there. Share these videos with all of your family, friends, social media. Keep blasting these videos out there. Now, without further ado, I want to get right into things. First article. As the markets are reaching all-time highs, the melt-up continues. This to me is getting really, really scary. And I know people are going to say everything's great, markets are up. Well, the markets were booming before the 29 crash. Markets were booming before the whole collapse of 2008. We were at market highs. Things are just melting up based on absolutely nothing other than the hope that the Fed's going to come in and cut interest rates. The economy is in the worst shape we have ever seen it. People are struggling. Inflation is way too high. People are losing their jobs daily now, just a way of life. More businesses are shutting down, like this one coming from the Daily Mail today. Red Lobster planning the closure of another 135 restaurants if landlords won't give into the chain's demands. Right now, 93 of its 700 restaurants have closed. Now we're talking about an additional 135. It seems like landlords continue to raise the rents and businesses can't afford this. So would they rather have an empty building or have a Red Lobster in there? More than likely, they're not going to negotiate with Red Lobster, and you're going to see another 135 Red Lobsters close. In fact, I think we're going to see a lot more than 135 Red Lobsters close. They're in big trouble, as the American consumers are in big trouble, and it's getting harder and more difficult to have this discretionary spending to go out and spend $100 to go to Red Lobster and have dinner. You know, it's not because of endless shrimp that Red Lobster is in trouble. They're in trouble because the economy is on life support. They're in trouble because these rents on these commercial buildings are way too high, and they just cannot make money doing this. The margins continue to shrink, and there's just no money left when you have labor costs going up, food costs going up, and rents going up like we're watching. So we'll pay attention to see what's happening with that. Here's one from Fox Business. Americans with adjustable mortgages could see their payments skyrocket. Since 2019, more than 1.7 million homes have been bought using adjustable rate mortgages. People just never learn, do they? About 330,000 homeowners who got an adjustable rate mortgage in 2019 have already seen their 5-year fixed term end. What does that mean? They're paying a lot more right now. Another 100,000 will see their rates adjusted this year. It says here, with mortgage rates resetting near the highest level in 2 decades, the reset could cause monthly payments to surge for many homeowners. It's going to be a lot more expensive. I mean, their house payments literally could double or go even higher. But, you know, these are the people who believe they're real estate agents. Listen to the real estate agents that said, yeah, you know, if you want the house, just pull out an adjustable rate mortgage. You can refi down the road. Not telling you that rates could actually go up. People just thought that we were going to have mortgage rates at 2.65, 2.8, 2.93% forever. And you know, these people that bought homes back in 2019, when rates were a little bit higher, they just never thought that we'd be looking at mortgage rates now at over 7%. And we're not out of the woods here yet. I believe mortgage rates are going to go higher. And, you know, if you don't have great credit, you're probably paying closer to 8% at this point for a mortgage. So if you don't have the down payment, you don't have good credit, and you're trying to buy a house, you're paying closer to 8%. But, you know, the real estate agents didn't care. They just, you know, thought that rates would, you know, go lower, not higher, and they were completely wrong. Here's one from The Hedge today. The apartment construction boom ends, major economic impact ahead. If you watched my video last week where I was filming multi-family projects being built here in the desert, lots of them, big ones, you wonder who's going to be able to afford, you know, $2,500, you know, for a 2-bedroom or maybe even more. And how are the builders paying for this with rates going up? It says here, interest rates are too high for many projects to start. Some starter projects are already in trouble. Maybe some of the ones I've already shown you, they could be in trouble. We don't know. Start delays are up 45%. Some developers can't get the money to complete current projects. Now, the ones that I showed you last week, I don't know what the status is, but we're going to see more trouble with these projects that have already started because they can't get the money to finish them. And why is that? Well, because of commercial real estate. The debacle we're seeing in the commercial real estate sector, many regional banks are not lending as much to apartment builders this year because of this debacle in commercial real estate. They don't want to take the risk. And can you blame them? So we may be seeing, when I was in Austin, Texas last summer, and other parts of Texas, I've never seen a building boom like the one out there in Texas. And you've got to wonder now, how many of these projects that are underway are going to be able to finish? And the ones that, they've broken ground, they're graded, they're ready to go, and they're standing by, they can't get the funding to get these projects going. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, but this to me is not an indication that the economy is really booming. When you have banks now backing off because they're getting very, very nervous with what's going on. So, when you see a slowdown in construction that we're reading about now, that, these developers can't get products finished, they can't start, you're going to see some ramifications from this, and that'll be the slowdown in construction employment, slowdown in loans, write-offs on struggling projects. Apartment loans will add to the misery of regional banks suffering on commercial real estate loans. Here's another one: huge slowdown in durable goods, appliances, furniture, light fixtures, etc. So there's going to be some real ramifications here with the slowdown in these multifamily units, apartments, and again, there's so many of these projects going up in my area right now. And what about the single family residents that are going up, new home builds going up right now? They have to borrow money too. When does this roll over into that sector? I think some of the banks are beginning to get a little worried with what's going on and what they're seeing right now. But as far as apartments, I think we're going to see a big slowdown because money is tightening up. We've talked about this credit crisis, and here we go. Banks are getting worried. They're not going to loan money out like they once did. Try and go buy a car. Look at interest rates. Talked about this yesterday. Look at interest rates to go buy a new car, a used car. They're getting worried. It's going to get more difficult. They're tightening up the standards to borrow money, whether you want to get a personal loan, a car loan, a home loan, you're a developer, you want to go build apartments. They're tightening up standards. Here's one from hoodline.com. 2 suspected of armed robbery and carjacking arrested in India after multi-location crime spree. This happened Monday night, literally 5 minutes from my house. Deputies responded to a robbery call in Rancho Mirage, beautiful area. If you've been to Rancho Mirage, you know it's very upscale. It's very nice. A victim was assaulted in Rancho Mirage during this robbery. Then deputies got another call to a carjacking in Palm Desert. These are the same suspects. Now, the first one in Rancho Mirage, I'm not sure if this is the one they pulled baseball bats out on and assaulted the victim. And then when they did the carjacking, they assaulted, I believe, 2 victims from the carjacking. So they had baseball bats, they had pew-pews. They found the suspects by tracking the victim from the carjacking. He left his cell phone in there, and they were able to track the car that they were in with the cell phone that he had left behind. So they did catch the suspects because the carjacking victim left his cell phone in there with the chaos that ensued. I bring this up because, this happened 5 minutes from my house. Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, very, very nice areas. Um, and this is happening right here in my backyard. And it is a huge wake-up call that you've got to be extremely careful, not only when you're at your house, but when you leave your house. And, if you live in a gated community, a lot of people have a false sense of security because they live in a gated community. As long as they're behind the gates, they're safe. They've got their, little security guards driving around the little cars or in golf carts, and, the gates are always closed. And that is far from the truth. You are not as safe as you think you are in a gated community. But needless to say, we had now something that went from a robbery to a carjacking, and this could have gotten really, really ugly. People could have really been hurt. People were assaulted. You got to be careful no matter where you're at. Beverly Hills, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, these are nice areas, and this stuff is happening every day. And I'll tell you, it's hitting close to home, 5 minutes from my house. So really quick, I got an email from Tim Kell, T-Kell Knives. He sent me this last year, this beautiful Night Stalker blade right here, which I carry quite a bit. And I bring this up, Tim does not pay me. He sent me a beautiful blade. I think he makes some of the best knives in the entire world. And I carry this next to my pew-pew, next to my boomstick as a backup. And maybe you don't carry a boomstick. Maybe you can, depending what state you're in. Maybe you're not licensed. But you should have something. And maybe something like a Night Stalker. He has a new knife coming out. I believe it's called the Agent 001. That knife's going to be, I think, released tomorrow or the next day. You can go to tkellknives.com, check out his website. Really good guy, makes incredible blades. And you got to have something, to protect yourselves with, ladies and gentlemen, something. This is, again, a backup to my pew-pew. I do jiu-jitsu, I box, I carry a pew-pew, I'm licensed, have my conceal carry. But this is backup so that, something goes wrong with that, things get physical, I can't get to it, I've got something else to go to. So, I'm always looking for a way to layer my defense in case things go wrong. At least I have a blade. And I highly advise you check out his website, T-Kell Knives. Check it out. Again, doesn't pay me a dime, and if he did, who cares? He makes some of the best blades in the world. I carry them. I would never tell you to buy something that I have not been using myself, that I don't believe in. These are high quality. They're not cheap. And if you go there today, he's probably already sold out. But get on the list. Get one of these things. You will not regret it. They're literally pieces of art and something that could save your life. And hey, look, if you just need something to open boxes, just something to carry around for work, it's a great tool to have. Now, here's another one today. A couple assaulted, beaten by teens in Chicago. Pregnant wife loses baby after attack. This coming from Chicago, which is now a complete war zone. This is just heartbreaking, but we need to talk about these things because this is why we train. This is why we're proficient. This is why I do jiu-jitsu. This is why I box. This is why I go to the range. This is why I carry these tools. I don't want to be victimized like these people. Husband and wife attacked by two teenagers while on a date in Chicago. They were in the Streetville neighborhood Friday night. I mean, nobody deserves this. This is unbelievable. The couple found themselves surrounded by teens around 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. At Grand Avenue and McClurry. They were kicked, stomped on, and punched repeatedly. Isn't this nice? This is what young people, teenagers, are doing to other people. The wife had a chunk of her hair pulled out and her eye bruised. The attack was not a robbery, they said. Not a robbery. They just did this for what? For entertainment? This is what the victim said. This was not a robbery. They didn't want any money. The teens pepper sprayed the wife, kicked her in the stomach. She was 2 weeks pregnant, lost the baby. What do you think about that? Comment down below. Comment down below. I don't think I've ever lived in a time where it's more critical that you know how to defend yourself, protect your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, your dog, yourself, whatever. You need to know how to protect yourself. Wow, this is really devastating. I can't even believe some of the news I'm reading today in 2024. The level of crime that we're seeing. It's so demonic to do this to a pregnant woman, first off, and then to just do this for what? For entertainment? You're not taking anything from these people. You just want to start trouble and hurt somebody. You do this to the wrong person. These people could have lost their lives. These young people. I can tell you, me personally, if somebody was going to try to do something like that to me, it's going to end a lot different. And that's just reality. That's just reality. You look at people, like Aaron, Texas Silver, it's going to end a lot differently. Certain people are just not going to tolerate being victimized like this. This is absolutely, you don't even see stuff like this happening in third world countries. They don't even act like this. We have people now just walking around like pure demons, assaulting and attacking people, women, pregnant people, pregnant women, just for entertainment. I mean, why? Why? Again, this is why when I leave the house, I'm prepared. I hope when you leave your house, you're prepared, training, and having the skill sets. Chaos in California, Chipotle as customers start food fight. 3 women attacking store employees. This happened in Vallejo, California. The video quite alarming. I mean, I watched some of these videos, and it just, you wonder where you're really at. Is this really America at this point? These people are jumping over the counter at Chipotle, attacking the staff, getting physical, throwing things at them. One is standing on the counter, throwing whatever at people behind the counter, the employees of Chipotle. Again, these are people just going to work trying to make a living, and they've got to tolerate this type of behavior at a restaurant. Women acting like this, young women jumping on the counters, getting physical, assaulting and throwing things at the workers at Chipotle in Vallejo, California. Absolutely alarming. So we've got people attacking and stomping pregnant women in Chicago. We've got people in Vallejo, California, jumping over the counter of a Chipotle, attacking workers there. I mean, this is the good times, ladies and gentlemen. Could you imagine if people couldn't get food, if the power went out, if people didn't get their government subsidized checks and their cards got shut off and they couldn't go to Walmart today? Could you imagine what this is going to look like? Because that day is coming, unfortunately. Look, I'm just telling you what I think, my opinion. I think all of you, if you have the ability, if you're not 90 years old, you should be at the gym getting stronger. You should be in jiu-jitsu. You should be boxing. You should be becoming a very, very hard target. You should be the hardest person in the room to kill. You should be ready to engage physically if you have to. I'm sorry, but doing an Orange Theory class, doing a boot camp type thing, a kettlebell class or whatever, that's great for getting in shape. But do you have the techniques? Do you have the ability to defend yourself? Can you protect your wife, your kids, and yourself? We are heading into some really turbulent times here. And when I watch this stuff, it just reinforces why we should be getting stronger, why we should learn how to fight, why we should learn how to defend ourselves, why we should be getting in a warrior mindset, a mental mindset right now, that if we have to engage in confrontation, we're ready to do that. Doesn't mean that I'm the toughest person in the world, certainly not. But I'm certainly not going to allow myself to just be a victim either, or my family. I can promise you that. When I take Nugget out for a walk, she is well protected. I promise you that. Somebody that would want to come and steal a French bulldog like Nugget, it's going to land up, unfortunately, a lot different for them. I promise you that. She has a security force behind her, and she's in very, very good hands. Same with my entire family. People in my family all know how to shoot too. So we're just not going to be victims. So I advise that, you have the same ability and the same mindset. If more people did that, we talk about being your own central bank. Well, be your own security detail too. Be able to take care of yourself, your family, your pets, all that, protect your assets. Burglary crew dressed as construction workers hit Southern California home. It's the fourth burglary in the past few weeks in this neighborhood. The crew disguised as construction workers who reportedly used Wi-Fi jamming technology, broke into a Studio City home and made off with jewelry, watches, and other valuables, tens of thousands of dollars, things that could never be replaced, family heirlooms. Thieves are now using Wi-Fi jamming technology to knock out surveillance cameras and alarm systems. In fact, at this property in Studio City, they found the Ring cameras at the bottom of their swimming pool. And other cameras did detect the suspects driving up and down for hours, surveilling this house. One was in a Nissan Rogue, and the other car was a Tesla. So they're driving nice cars. They're using technology to break into people's homes. They don't care about your alarm systems. They don't care about your cameras. That's not going to protect you, ladies and gentlemen. You better think that, if they breach your door, your security cameras, your alarm system, they jam it, and now they break in. I think this one, they broke in through a glass slider. They break in through a glass slider. They come through a window. They break in through a door. What are you going to do if you're home? What would you do? What would your family do? Are they prepared? Are they training? Are they ready for this? You're going to see more and more of this. This is serious organized crime that is coming over here now and taking advantage of Americans who think that a Ring camera or an alarm is going to protect them. It's not going to. It is not going to. So the news just continues to get worse and worse. And I can certainly tell all of you, it gives me no satisfaction to report this kind of news on a daily basis here in America. The good news, markets are up. But the bad news is because of more bad news. The markets love all the bad news because the more the bad news it gets, the more chance of a rate cut. Remember, the markets don't care that you lost your job. They don't care that your wages aren't keeping up with inflation. They don't care that your restaurants are going out of business. They don't care that your small business is going out of business. They don't care that you're broke. They don't care that 65% of the middle class is struggling financially now. The markets don't care. The markets just want the cheap money. They don't care. Markets don't care. So markets hitting all-time highs again. Is it changing your life whatsoever? Probably not, because you're dealing with the crime now here that is in my backyard, probably in your backyard. You're dealing with the financial struggles now, day to day, the inflation that's not going away. And you know what? At some point, they're going to cut rates. I still don't think they'll do it this year, but let's say they do. What is it going to do? It's going to cause more inflation. It's going to cause prices to go up even more. It's going to put even more pressure on the middle class and the poor. What they're doing and what they want to do is obviously cut rates, print more money. That's exactly what got us right where we're at right now. Interest rates way too low, and all this money printing got us to this point of inflation. So when they do cut rates, you're going to see more inflation. We could get into a point where you could begin to see hyperinflation in America. Look, they're telling you that inflation is 3.5% right now, and people can't even handle it because we know it's much more than that. But they cut rates. Inflation is going to be much more than the official 3.5%. It's going to go absolutely out of control. So let's just say real inflation is 8, 10, 12%. Let me know what you think it's at. Comment down below. What is the real inflation number? Is it 10? Is it 15? Is it 20? Is it 5? Is it 3.5? I have no idea. All I know is a lot more than it was a few years ago, and it seems like it's not going down. Whatever it is now, they cut rates. It's going to go a lot higher. Real inflation will be much higher than it is now. And if people are struggling to this degree right now with the official 3.5%, what happens when the official number goes to 4.5%, 5.5%? Then what's real inflation going to be? Does that mean it's going to be 20, 30, 40%? I mean, if it's this bad right now and they begin printing more money and cutting rates on top of all the loan forgiveness, on top of the hundreds of Billions of dollars they're sending to other countries, on top of all the money they're spending to take care of people coming from all over the world, and the money we're giving them, and the $5,000 debit cards, and all this. The money that is being printed and borrowed right now is out of this world. They cut rates. It's going to get so bad. It is going to get so bad. Get your debts paid off. Get yourself some assets. Learn how to protect yourself. You're going to need to, because crime is going to be absolutely out of control. The higher inflation goes, the higher the crime rate goes. You better know how to protect yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and your family, because what you're seeing right now is just the coming attractions to the greatest depression you have ever seen. God bless. Stay safe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the incredible mail, all the support, all the prayers. I really, really appreciate it. None of this is possible without you. Please don't forget that. And really, thank you so much for all the incredible comments down below. So many people love those comments. Keep the comments coming. They're incredible. They're waking people up. I can't say enough about the comments. The comment section is by far probably the best comment section of any channel on YouTube. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Talk to all of you soon.